I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities of Music. Today we're going to review a new album that came out, obviously, a few weeks ago. Since we've been gone for a while, we've had some time to really think about this one. This is one we weren't liking even before we took our hiatus, and now that we're back, I think both of us like it even a little less than that.
Yeah.
This is Fountains of Wayne, Sky Full of Holes. Fountains of Wayne, we reviewed Welcome Interstate Managers, which actually was a smorgasbord of different styles and all very poppy, very eclectic sound. And it's just kind of a fun album. Our biggest criticism of that was that it might have gone a little too far. It went too crazy and was a little too long. This is very different than that. In that these songs all sound very similar. Too similar. And while there's still a lot of them, it's still a very cohesive sound. Normally that's a good thing. It's actually usually a good thing unless the artist doesn't actually separate the songs. If they're only doing one thing and they're hitting you in the face with the same thing 13 times in a row, you're gonna be bored with it at the very end. Tom, what was your take on Sky Full of Holes?
Pretty much that.
Okay.
I just feel like this overall, and I'm gonna try to say this as honestly as I can without sounding like a complete dick, but I just found this to be very bland, boring songwriting. I mean, none of these songs really gripped me. A few of them had some more memorable hooks and melodies that I could kind of get into, and those were my track picks, and then the rest of them just kind of bothered me. I mean, I just feel like the sentimentality here is so shallow. It's really just kind of this pop songwriting. He got these songs out, but nothing about the performance here really makes me feel like he cared about it.
I can sum this entire album up in one word. Bland.
Yeah.
This is bland as it gets. These songs all follow a very, very generic structure, and they're all very generically written. In fact, if you listen to the track A Road Song and then Working Man's Hands, 8 and 9, they sound exactly the same. They really do. From one starts and when the next one starts, these songs sound similar. In fact, song to song, all these songs sound so similar. It starts off with just an electric guitar line, storytelling lyrics sung very dispassionately, and if you get into this album, great. You obviously must like storytelling lyrics. There's nothing wrong with that, because all these songs tell many stories, and that's nice and kind of cute, but I don't get into that because I think that it establishes the level of depth at right here, and it's very shallow when you could, put a lot more into it and really get something, give your listeners more value than that, and I just don't feel like that this accomplishes that. Plus, it just goes on and on and on.
I feel like more time was spent on the production than the actual songwriting, and instead of beefing up the songwriting, making it more interesting, it's like he took these very just kind of throwaway songs, and then in the production room was like, well, how can we spice this up? Let's take an electric guitar line and throw it in the left speaker in this one spot. And there's a lot of that all over the place. Very, just a huge buffet of instrumentation all across the soundscape throughout these songs. But they don't really help. It's like they're trying to make up for something.
It's kind of like if you had a car that was just awesome. It looked beautiful, right? And this is the sexiest car you've ever seen. But that car, every time it rained, didn't work. And you tried to drive it places, and it broke down on you, and you were on the side of the road. Really, that's not a very good car when you think about it. And the same is true for an album, when an artist makes an album. And that's what happened
That
here.
was a very terrible analogy, but I appreciate the personal touch
But you know
there.
what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. If you're having to dress, if all it is just all bells and whistles and then just polished production and there's no content behind it, if there's nothing that adds value to the listener driving it, it's absolutely worthless. It's throwaway music, and I quite honestly don't have time for it. I'm at a 53. I feel like that's a gift.
I'm going 55.
Alright. Sounds like we're very similar here. What did you guys think? I mean, we were kind of harsh on this album, but if you guys enjoyed Sky Full of Holes more than we did, let us know, because we're definitely open to other people's opinions, and I don't think any opinion about music is wrong, because it's pretty much all just opinion. Let us know yours at www.velocitiesofmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesmusic. Facebook, Twitter, these are good things. You should check them out because that's where we're at. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.